Welcome to this week's edition of the Coaches Show. Coach, you had North Hall this week. They're, on paper, bigger, faster, and stronger. How do you go in preparing your guys to face someone like that?
Well, you talk to your kids, about, working on what we do, what we want to try and accomplish for the game. You talk to them about competing. Our kids know, this is the second year in the region playing them. They know they finished, region champions last year. They finished in the top 4 in the state, so they know they're a good football team coming in. So you try to prepare your kids to go out there and compete the best that they can against someone like them or a Buford. You don't want to take a step back as a team because you've got another game to get ready for the next week. So it's always about getting better. We talk about you either get better or you get worse. You never stay the same. So when you go into games like that, obviously we talk about we want to try to get to the fourth quarter. That's what we want to try to do. Obviously in this game we didn't get to the fourth quarter. We didn't really get out of the first quarter. We had a handful of kids that kept fighting and competing in there and got better. So we just go into this week. It's a new game, it's a new team, and it's just a whole new deal this Friday night.
How do you try and keep your guys motivated, like you said, after the first quarter in the second half of that game?
Yeah, you just talk to them about competing. You talk about finish. Obviously Georgia talks about finishing the drill. I think that's a big statement they go by. It's something we go by. We talk about finishing the drill. We've certainly had to reevaluate our goals and what we want to push for these next 4 games. But so I talked to them after the game Friday night, and I told them we've got 4 more games, so we just need to take one game at a time and try to get better each game.
Some of the struggles seem to be in missed tackles. You were getting to the ball earlier, but not wrapping up. And
yeah, we had some missed tackles. We had some missed tackles in there. The big thing that our struggle for the last couple of years has been both lines of scrimmage. We've talked about the point of attack in the games where we've played best. It's an old cliche, but we've protected better. Our run blocking, our run fits have been better. So, we're losing the battle at the line of scrimmage right now. We are, and we made some subs Friday night. Some kids that had not started before. I think we started 2 sophomores, a freshman, and there was 3 young guys in there competing. But I thought they played hard.
Coming just a little over half the season, how do you feel that your younger classmen are coming up and improving?
Yeah, well, it's hard for a young offensive lineman to be thrown in there with that. I think it's easier for a receiver or a skilled person to come in and play a little bit. But that offensive and defensive line, we've got some young kids playing up there, and I feel the young guys. I feel they're doing the best that they can do against who we're playing.
You switched defenses a couple weeks ago. How do you feel your new defense is working out?
Well, it's like I talk to the kids. It doesn't matter what kind of offense you decide to run, whether you're, we're going to run wishbone or we're going to run spread. We're going to run a 4-4, a 4-3, a 50, or 3-4, stack 3-3. If you don't rally to the ball and you don't wrap up and run through people, it doesn't matter what kind of scheme you run. So, we've got some issues with tackling. We've got some issues with rallying to the ball. I thought at times we did that okay Friday night, but you got to do it every play.
You have Banks County coming up this week. What is the difference preparing for Banks County compared to North Hall?
Well, I think you prepare, we always talk to our kids, we respect everybody we play. So, it's our practice week is not any different than it was for North Hall. I think the message is a little bit different because, the kids know in their mind that North Hall is different from Banks County as far as win-loss record. But at the same time, we got to prepare just as hard for North Hall as we do for Banks, or we'll find ourselves on the wrong side of the win-loss column. But hopefully our kids will get in here. I think that they've come in each week and they've battled each week, and we've been up against some good teams, And Friday night's a new contest, a new chance for us to compete, and I think they'll come in here. We'll have a good week.
Injuries seem to be affecting you this year with two of your captains on the sidelines Friday night. How do you overcome that aspect?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to overcome it. You can talk about next man up, but the next man up is usually a younger, less experienced player, and they're doing what they can. They're doing what they can. Hopefully we'll get one of those guys back this week.
What are the challenges that Bank's going to give you? That you see so far?
Yeah, they're big up front. So I think that's going to be the number one message to the team. Is let's set the point of attack on the line of scrimmage. They have a good tailback. He runs really well. We'll have a tough time slowing him down. But I think if we can slow him down, I think we can get that game to the fourth quarter and see what happens.
Well, good luck as you go onto the road this Friday.
All right, thanks.